welcome to the first annual General Assembly for the Lithuanian-Norwegian Chamber of Commerce. Well, anyway, I'm the chairman of the chamber, and just to present you the board, Vita is the director of the chamber. Then we have Jørn and Mathisen, can you get up, from Konsulent 1 and many other things. We have Arne, can you stand up please? She is from Lithuania, as you can imagine. We have Hans Petter Jørgensen, who has been in Lithuania for many years with DNB Bank. And we have an honorary member who also has joined the board, or will be elected today, that's Hans Petter. Leif Ulland, the former ambassador to Lithuania from Norway. So that's it. So as you can see, we have a good board. Now, what we're going to do now, quite briefly, we have this presentation, which will take some time to go down. As you can see, it's now 4:30 approximately, and we have some 15 minutes to do the General Assembly things. It might take longer if you have any questions or if you want to have a debate, and that's okay. But then we have a seminar coming up at 4:45 that we have called Norwegian Companies in Lithuania and Lithuanian Companies in Norway, Status Quo and Learnings. So as you can see, we have Leif Ulland, who used to be the ambassador for Norway and Lithuania. He will talk about Lithuanian businesses in Norway. Then we have Ausra Vankeviciute from Staticus Norge AS. And then we have Paulius Kvedaras from Kvedaru Ukis. They are both from Lithuania, as you can imagine. And then we are here today, and DNB, you know, they make some profits. Now let's move on to the important thing. We have created for you an annual report for 2014. This is the agenda for the General Assembly. The annual report 2014, profit and loss account, which basically is profit, budget 2015, membership fee for 2015, election of board, and activities in 2015. So now let's move on to the annual report we have made for 2014. And as you know, this was established last summer. We had a fantastic opening at the Lithuanian Embassy in Norway, in Oslo, 28th of August. And for those who were not present, I can tell you that we had both the departing ambassador from Norway, Lithuania, Arne, and the one who was going to go to Lithuania. So we had both ambassadors at the same time. Alessandras from the embassy, he's a commercial attaché, he was organizing this for us, and it was a great event with many, many people. And as you can see from this report, we have also been to Lithuania. Jørn and Vita have been in Lithuania. We have had some press from Dronning that you have seen. And we have seen also other things we have been doing. Meeting representatives of Estonian, Latvian, and Lithuanian societies. And also been in Bergen to have a seminar. And then finally we have even a photo of me visiting this bank in the meeting with Hans Petter. So all in all, I think it's a nice report. And as you can see, we have the following members, and I think we should really read the members list because they are our heroes now, the first members. Labadiana, Rekke Industrier AS, Vi som advokater AS, DS Project Hire, In LT, Konsulent 1 AS, Nordic Commerce AS, that's me by the way in this occasion, DNB Bank ASA, Silama AS, and Balta Group AS. So all in all, 10 members at the end of 2014. And I'm sure that today there will be the next item on the agenda is the profit and loss for 2014. And as this was the first year, we didn't have any big ambitions to make a big turnover. And I have to add to this that this is, as you can imagine, a not-for-profit organization. So we are not doing this to make any money, any of us. On the contrary, we might hope to create a job or a half job for a director. But this is, of course, a not-for-profit organization. So when we say profit, it's just money in the bank to build on for the next year. And as you can see, we had a turnover of altogether 23,748 Norwegian kroner. We had costs mainly The opening reception and cost we had on that, some was sponsored by the embassy and some was paid by us. So the costs in total were 12,689, which makes a profit for the first year for 11,459. And there's no remuneration, no fees, no salaries in this. And then we even have money in the bank, of course. For some reason we have more money in the bank than the profit. We also want to present for you the budget. Now you have to approve the profit and loss, but the budget is only for your information. We have a budget for 2015 amounting to a total of 162,000, which is perhaps a bit ambitious, but we try to reach that goal. You will see, if you have any papers, you can see that it's a combination of members' fees for 49,000, services for 36,000, and events 77,000. And of course, there are calculations behind this that we don't have to go into detail about now unless you want to ask. And then we have costs totaling 118,300. So the result will be 43,700 according to the budget. Now we all know that the budget is only a budget, but we'll try to guide after this. And we will also try to perhaps have a higher. We have a membership fee structure and prices 2015, this document, which shows that we have the startup companies, first 3 years since startup, 1,000 a year. I mean, this is almost giveaway, but we have decided on that to help startups, Norwegian and Lithuanians. And then if you have up to 5 million turnover, Norwegian kroner, we have 2,500. If you have up to 20 million, which is above 5, up to 20, it's 5,000. And if you have a turnover for more than 20 million kroner, you will pay 10,000 kroner. Then we have something called patron membership, which has to be discussed individually with companies, how much they would like to pay and what we can give them and offer them for that. And then we have individual membership for people who have reached the age of 67, retired, it says here. But if you can show that you are 67 years old, you can become an individual member and you will pay for your election of board. Now we who started this back in May, when we sat down and started to plan this, we have joined the board ourselves and have been very happy to do so. And then we have one member to add today, which is Ulland, who has been appointed honor member by the board, and who will also be joining the board. And we are very happy for that because he has unique experience from his term in Lithuania. So I hope we can all approve Leif Ulland as our. And then the rest of us, this is the first annual meeting. So then we start our terms now, but we hope that we can expand the board and rotate so that we have people from members joining the board and that the board reflects the membership structure. And then the last item on the agenda is approval of the revised Articles of Association. It doesn't say here, but we have tried to make Articles of Association, vedtekter in Norwegian, to be, bylaws as somebody calls them, to be as easy and simple as possible. I am a fan of what I call Gita is amazing. She is working a lot with the chamber. There's a lot of work behind what you see now that has not been done by me. But
okay, so chamber is a very young and new organization. We just established a few months ago, and we tried to our best ability to do the work that we want to do, and that's to build a closer business collaboration between Lithuania and Norway. We realized what the big companies, they find their way to Norway and Lithuania without any bigger stress, but it's small and medium companies that are actually the vehicle of both Lithuanian and Norwegian economy that struggles to find the correct contacts, the information. And we actually have later on a presentation by Kvedaru Ukis, also actually a quite solid company in Lithuania, looking into the Norwegian market and seeing how to get into Norway and what information and how to get that information and what people to meet and how to meet these people. But for the year to come, what we want to do is to actually challenge everyone to take an active charge in in building this sort of network of business professionals who could influence the change in business collaborations between small and medium companies. And I believe that bigger companies like DNB actually does have a role in that situation. And so we're very happy to have Hans Petter, who is very good in business development, to develop Chamber in a way where we can actually be a party that can influence and can help these small and medium companies. We have many things planned for the future. This spring we plan to have a procurement event, or Norwegian procurement, or how to say, procurement in Norway, to have that event in Lithuania. We're talking with the Norwegian-Lithuanian Chamber of Commerce in Vilnius to arrange that event together. We also have a planned event to have an event about export rules and culture in Lithuania, and how Norwegian or how Lithuanian companies can understand better, let's say, Norwegian market and Norwegian culture, maybe business culture. So we have many things coming up, but it is a non-profit organization. We work at the moment on a voluntary basis, and it's because we do believe in it. So maybe I would like to finish by saying maybe we could have more people who could join in this joint venture to see how we all can collaborate and work towards the same goal, building this bigger, stronger.
And thank you very much for the confidence by inviting me to join the Chamber of Commerce, the board. I have a little difficulty with my presentation in the sense that on the way from my computer to the screens here, it became very dark. But I hope we can manage after all. So what I will try to do today is go through a little bit what is happening in Norwegian-Lithuanian trade as seen from the perspective I had as an ambassador of Norway and Lithuania for almost 4 years. And I think if we can sum up some of the main developments we have seen, it was a very, very good time to be ambassador because everything went just like that. And the fact is that we have seen an enormous growth of contact between Norway and Lithuania recently in trade, in investment, in tourism, in political contacts. So, by the way, for example, Lithuanian president was 3 times in Norway during my time here, including on a state visit. And trade have grown about 5 times in the 10 years since Lithuania became EU member. Investments have gone the same way. When I came in 2011, Norway was 8th on the list of investors. Now we are 5th, and the last figures I saw from 2014 indicate that we might move up to 4th place. And in addition to that, we have a huge new development, which is that in 2014, the Hög LNG in Oslo came with their new huge 300-meter long LNG regasification ship built in South Korea for Lithuania, and Statoil won the contract of supplying the gas for the first 5 years for that ship. And from January this year on, a Norwegian-run regasification ship in Kleppestø with the Norwegian LNG will pump gas into the pipelines of Lithuania to give an alternative to Gazprom-delivered gas. It's by far the biggest. The Hög contract is by far the biggest contract Norway has ever had, and Statoil's contract is also very, very big. And none of that will be reflected in the figures I will show you very shortly about the development we have had in trade. So I think also just very briefly, the 150 million Norwegian assistance we had, what we call EEA assistance, is also not so important for business itself, because business cannot tap into it, very much of it, but it's very important for the goodwill Norway has in Lithuania, and in any visit of a prime minister or whoever, that is always the first thing we hear from the Lithuanian side, how they appreciate this assistance. So it helps to get goodwill for us also in a business sense. Sorry, that was a bit quick now. Here you see the developments in trade. It is very encouraging figures. So trade have grown gradually and consistently every year since 2002, except for the 2009-10 period when we had the financial crisis. And you can see also, I checked before I came, because this was a slide I had from last year. You can see that also for 2014, the trend is continuing, and the total trade is now about 8.3 million Norwegian kroner. Due to, you can see the red and the blue color, you see the division of what Lithuania exports to Norway in blue and what Norway exports to Lithuania in red. I'll come back to that a little bit. But the main thing is that Lithuania's exports to Norway is much bigger than our exports to Lithuania. And there are many reasons for that, but the main reason is simply that there are, as I will shortly show you, about 200 Norwegian companies in Lithuania. And very many of them are manufacturing companies that export part or all their products to Norway. Here is a little more breakdown on what we export and what we import. Norway's main import is various manufacturing goods, manufactured goods and articles. A lot of it manufactured by Norwegian companies, as I said. And that can be in the wood and the metal, electronics, and company like Kvedaru is, you know, I think many of you export more or less all their products, or produce all their products for the world market in Lithuania and export a lot of it to Norway. Norway's big export to Lithuania is fish, basic or seafood, actually, and the figures are much more impressive than the statistics give you, because Lithuania is a very important transit destination for Norwegian fish going to Eastern Europe, Kazakhstan, Belarus, and so on. I visited, when I came to Lithuania in 2011, I visited one of the cold stores in Kleppestø, and at that particular point, there were about over 200,000 tons of Norwegian and Icelandic fish in that cold store, going east.
The right product to sell to the market. And here we learned the lesson during these years. Staticus started in Norway in 2008, and the company's experience is in the sector 22 years already. So when we came to Norway, we said, we can do everything. We are Lithuanians, we know how to work, we can do everything. Do you want one window? We will do a window. Do you want a lot of facades? Here it is. And we found out that then we are not that good in anything. Like, we are not professionals. And we focused on aluminum glass structures, leaving beside our things. And we think we succeeded, and that was a right turn. And we call today as experts in the market. As well, the company's strength is to provide a chain of services by one company. And we recommend to others, do not have a lot of subcontractors behind you. Because then, without having a lot of subcontractors behind you, you deliver the trust to the client, and you take the whole responsibility yourself. So, that's the highlight of the slide. Money. That's very interesting for some of you here. Company was not big all the time, and we had challenges to get finance our projects. Salespeople did a good job. Production does a good job. Project management does a good job. We get the project, how to get the finance for the project. As far as we all know, in Lithuania there are no companies, insurance companies which are rated. So we had to go abroad somewhere. Then we were too little, or we were too, I would say, not known to get some insurances or warranties from Norway. We had at least 2 years experience to have. So that was a big challenge, and thank you to the MB as well. We found out the ways how to do it. I believe a big role was by trust here as well. And 2015 company decided to have a stable growth, to work precisely on the quality. And this year is called the
First of all,
quality
I
year.
want to thank you for LNCC for this possibility to be here and talk here and participate in this great event. So today I will talk about why our company is interested in Norwegian market, where do we look for information, what did we find, and what kind of assumptions do we make about Norwegian grocery market. So first of all, Kvedaru Ukis is a 3 farms cooperative. We grow our vegetables in 200 hectares, and we produce more than 50,000 tons per year of fresh vegetables. Our main sales channels are Lithuanian retail chains such as Arne, Maxima and other companies. We mostly export our production to Russia and other companies, but mostly we focused on Russia until last year, and also to Lithuanian wholesalers. So our products is fresh vegetables like carrots, cabbage, onions, spring onions, beetroots and other vegetables. We also process them, like we're making a sauerkraut or pickled cucumbers. Also we peel them, slice them, making dicey slices, juliennes for home user and for HoReCa sector as well. So these are our main products. So why are we thinking about going to Norway? Because of 4 reasons. Growing consumption of vegetables in Norway, because of healthy lifestyle trends in Norway, because of a growing economy, and of course stable political situation, which is very important in nowadays. One of the sources where do we look for information about Norwegian market is Staticus Norge, which is very useful to find information about imports, exports, products, to compare them, use analysis diagrams, tables. So this website is really useful for us. We found a lot of interesting articles and reviews which we can use now, and of course very important aspect that we can find information there in English, because sometimes it's difficult to find information about Norwegian market in English, or especially in Lithuanian language, of course. So this is the example of production in Norwegian market by products. So it's very useful for us, definitely. Toll Customs, you of course know this institution. Website, everything was very convenient, and we found a lot of useful information about documents, declarations, and other necessary information. And what can I say about the people and employees in this institution? That they are very friendly, competent, and very supportive. Because I found some difficulties about reading the document about taxes for specific crops. So I wrote an email with few questions to that institution, and I got a response in 1 day. From my personal experience, this is very quick response. From governmental institution, definitely. And after they called me and explained everything. So I can say only good words about this institution and the employees working there. So I have a great experience with them. Also, we use such information sources like Euromonitor, European Statistics Institution, which is also very important for us. Like, here's an example. We can see that the forecast for vegetables consumption in Norway is increasing all the time. So from this simple information, we can assume that this is the time when we have to come to Norwegian market. Now is the time, because consumption is increasing. It's simple information, but it's really useful. Also, by information provided by Euromonitor, here you can see the expenditure of hypermarkets, supermarkets, and discounters. So we can see that this information shows that supermarkets are not growing. They are more or less stable, but we can see that discounters are growing year by year. And this information tells us, suppliers of vegetables, that consumers in Norwegian market, they are focusing on discounters. And discounters, consumers, are price sensitive and demanding. So it means we have to focus on price in order to offer our products. So it's also very useful information, or maybe it looks simple, but it is very interesting and very useful again. And it's a challenge for us because it's only one growing channel, not 3 or 2, it's only one. So we see it as a challenge for us. Also other information, 99% of the food is sold in retail chains in Norwegian market. So there's only one way to sell our products, through retail chains. And as we saw in the previous slide, the growing channel is discount stores. And for example here, between 2012 and 2013, 118 outlets, discount outlets, was opened in Norwegian market. And since Norway has 5 million people, that's a huge number, we believe. And discounters account for 46% of value share in the grocery market. So it's only half. So it gives a lot of information for us where to focus and where to not. So like in this case, here is a challenge that our potential clients is only retail chains, not the wholesalers, not the other companies, but only retail chains. So that's important aspect. Also, one potential channel which is growing, discounters. So we found a lot of good things through our monitor services about Norwegian market and what should we do. Also, discounters and about consumers and consumers' behavior in Norwegian market. So in discounters, consumers, they are price sensitive, they're very demanding for product availability and convenience. So as a challenge, we see that we have to compete on product price with not only other Lithuanian companies, but also companies from Poland, from Germany, Netherlands, and other countries. We are not competing with the Norwegian market. That's why Norway has taxes. Also, fast delivery. This is the challenges for us, and we have to make it work somehow. But we see opportunities as well here, because the growing demand for ready meal and pre-prepared products for busy people, for working, for families, for fathers, for moms, and so on. This demand is increasing dramatically each year. And here we see an opportunity, because we are growing crops, we're making products out of it, so we control the whole process from the beginning until the end, and we can save our cost. So this information gives us a lot. Should we focus on the quality, on the convenience, or on the price? So our monitor is a very useful tool analyzing the region market. Also, the other source of information is a company annual reports itself. For example, NorgesGruppen, the biggest player in the Norwegian retail sector, they claim that they have almost 40% of our Norwegian grocery market. So this is the main player in the market. And this information tells us that this is where we should focus, at least in the beginning. The other interesting thing, and very important, that NorgesGruppen owns 46% of a company called Bama. And the Bama company is the main supplier of the vegetables to NorgesGruppen. So with this information now we understand that we have to tackle not directly NorgesGruppen, but we have to tackle a Bama company in order to contact with them and sell our products through Bama to NorgesGruppen and to final consumer. And also interesting that NorgesGruppen owns a Swedish company called Dagrofa, and Dagrofa in Sweden has 17% of the market share. So if we will think about going to Sweden, we have to understand that we're thinking about the Sweden market, but we have to think about Norwegian company. So different cultures, different companies, we have to keep it in mind, I think, we believe. So here's the opportunity and the challenge at the same time. Potential key account, huge company, huge client. Through many sources, we found out that there's three main companies in Norwegian market. It's Norgesgruppen, of course Coop Norge, and Reitan Gruppe. Altogether, they account for more than 70% of a market share. It's only three companies. Even in Lithuania, where it's less than 3 million people, we have more than 4 main players in the market. So here in Norway, and Norway has around 5 million people, there is only 3. So we see it as a very, very great challenge for us, because we understand that all the companies, all the suppliers through many countries focusing on these 3 companies. And we have to find out how to differentiate ourselves from other companies and be, let's say, attractive for these top 3. So this is how we see our company, and this is our point of difference. So we can deliver an offer in 3 days, which is good, we assume, it's pretty fast. We can offer our products for 12 months per year. So this is very important, because retail chains, they don't want to change 2 times, their suppliers 2 times or 3 times per year. So this is very important aspect. We have a special cooling storage for more than 10,000 tons of vegetables. Also, we grow vegetables, we store them, we process them, we pack them, so we have full quality control line, full system. And in this case, especially for Norwegian, for the culture, this is very important, and we see it as a key point of difference. Yeah, and because of this, all the factors, and also I have to mention that we have a very strong, big, competent packaging companies in Lithuania who produces very high quality packages for very competitive price. So we can take advantage of it as well. So through all these key points, we will try to work in the Norwegian market, and here's our main challenges. It's not only this, but it's a main. So only 3 main market players in the Norwegian market, which is not a lot, which is not good for us in this case. Only retail chains, and to be more precise, only 1 channel, which is discount stores. So we have to know how to differentiate our company from others. We have to organize first meeting in order to show our products, our service, to represent ourselves, and to get the first order, of course, to start moving. And the main opportunities which we see in the Norwegian market is to find a new key market for us, because we are from Lithuania and it's less than 3 million people. Norway is a big country and a big market. Find a new key account, because those top 3 companies are huge companies. They definitely can be a key account, and develop long-term partnerships, because of course Norway once again has stable economy, stable political situation, great companies, and differentiate our risks, of course, as well. So despite all market factors, what can I say about business environment in Norway? I can say only good things, actually, because it's very well developed, it's very easy. I have very great experience with the people in different institutions like toll, customs, and so on. I have a very good impression, and we will try to come to Norway. Thank you.